Hi everyone, this is Lori with 3 Keys Astrology, and today I'm going to talk to you about couples readings. They're offered on my website, www.3keysastrology.com, and you can request, if you're in a difficult relationship like the one we're watching in the grand theater that is the Trial of Endings, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. On my channel on YouTube here, I have done several analysis for you regarding these two characters and the way they operate. I'm Team Johnny, and as an astrologer who's read for over 7,000 people on the planet and studied a ton and continue to study, it's my belief that Johnny Depp is the victim in some really cunning and disturbing plots that Miss Heard is capable of, and actually is probably going to cause a lot of grief in most of her intimate life unless she gets some serious help. Today's analysis talks about really personal parts between couples. You can order this reading for yourselves. Johnny Depp was born June the 9th, 1963, and Amber Heard is 23 years his junior. She was born April 22nd, 1986. Now, I also have Black Moon Lilith readings on the channel. I will make them for couples if you want to see the hardest parts of the way you're going to get along with each other and what you need to work out or what can happen. In Johnny Depp's case, Black Moon Lilith is exactly conjunct Neptune in his house, and it's in Scorpio. And both planets love to be there. It is a signature for drug abuse, alcoholism, sexuality that's dangerous. And indeed, this person moved in with him and is accusing him of all of those things, even though she willingly partakes in the vices that Johnny has enjoyed and has tried to get help for and acts superior. Amber Heard's Black Moon Lilith, coincidentally, is in Gemini. That's right on Johnny's sun. And it falls in his chart in the house of his money. And it's opposite. Let me make sure I speak correctly here. I was going to say that at the end, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah. Where it falls for Johnny is that he would be her sugar daddy. He would be her drug dealer, supplier, and provide her cash, plenty of it, and all kinds of debauchery. When Black Moon Lilith is in your second house of money and resources, and in opposition to the way you are in intimacy with a couple, you better watch out. Now, more interesting, before I break down the dynamics of the way they operate with each other, both people in this relationship have the most difficult astrological configuration called a T-square. In her T-square, the apex point is Mars and Neptune. And again, she attacks in misogynist ways. She emasculates men by referring to them in feminine terms, feminine derogatory terms. And this isn't an opposition between her Mercury and the Moon because they're not in synchronization. If you want to see whether someone's whole, healthy, and has inner congruency, you measure the sun to the moon to the rising sign. And when the moon is in an opposition square in conjunction to Mercury, this is somebody whose feelings and thoughts and communication are off kilter. And again, she's been diagnosed with some mental disorders according to the DSM-5, and without even a professional expert diagnosis, we see it in the way she talks. She doesn't have a very nice mouth. Compared to Johnny, who's slow to anger, and who these two fight, and his is hot and dry and hers is cold and dry. In fact, this T-square is quite interesting because it's on the axis of singularity and individuation opposing marriage. And she's all about herself. And it's clear to watch her, to listen to her speak, to see her fake actions. And that's exactly what you don't want to be in a marriage, because she's got Mars and Neptune in this pressure point, and it's going to be for her life unless she gets help. She will fight with mates, and she'll only want men that have more money than the last one she had before. This is a major complex. And if you have one like this in relationship with someone else, let me help you guys. Let me help analyze for you and show you. And then you can determine whether you think it's worth it or not. So Johnny's sun is 18 degrees Gemini. Amber's sun is in Taurus. This is an abrasive, the way they want to be seen in the world and their personal identities are abrasive with each other. She's the beauty, though, and he's the brains in this relationship, and she's not. Anybody that listens to her speak over and again can see that she's a quick study. Mercury in Aries often is, and they know what to say and when. His moon is in a square position to her moon, and that's not nice. That's disrespect all day long, and in her case, having this other agenda going on behind the scenes because her Mercury's in the 12th house, against her everyday life, where her marriage absolutely got stained, is a problem. I already spoke about their Mercuries. Johnny's got that rich, melodious voice. He's slow to anger. He's careful with his anger. Whereas she will insult you, pop off all of a sudden, and is quick to start fights. She's pushy. And believe me when I tell you, Black Moon Lilith moved into his life when he got snagged into her seduction. And now the whole world gets to see this. His Venus is in Taurus. So it's no wonder he found her attractive. He would find all women Venusian attractive. Amber has her moon there too. Her moon and her sun are Venusian. And she does have beauty. I should say she used to, now that we know who she really is. And that might protect some other fool from falling into her clutches. His Mars is in Virgo. Her Mars is in Capricorn. Her Mars is stronger. But both fight dirty. And we can see this. What healthy relationship do you know of is videotaping and recording each other? None. That's how many. Her Black Moon Lilith is opposite Saturn, and so I think with her Black Moon Lilith wild, she's going to keep on going after men that have more and more and more and more. This is in her case, a Gemini and Sagittarian opposition, and that's dirty and really bad for Johnny, and we see this. Now his pressure point is that he would meet this and be totally enamored because his Mercury and Venus are both in Taurus, but he's got 3 malefic planets, Uranus, Mars, and Pluto in his house of money. And she indeed, slowly pilfered him over and over again. This, unfortunately, is in an opposition, those 3 malefics in an opposition to Saturn, which is retrograde. Now, if the trial wraps up, that'll be in his favor very soon. But honestly, by the transits, both of them could end up with a stalemate. And I really think that's my prediction for the trial. He's got the advantage. And especially if it happens and wraps up and the jury comes to a conclusion in the first couple of weeks that are around his birthday. And I am Team Johnny 100%. Many of us that have an education and many of us in astrology can clearly see that he's the victim and not the perpetrator. However, Johnny's lesson in this world in the area of his self-value and his financial worth is that he needs to be very clear about the reality and the fantasy, because she met a lot of the needs of his fantasy for sure. And she used him like a dirty rag. And she's cold, primitive, demoralizing. She's an ice queen. She comes on hot and rips off these fiery hot insults that burn somebody's heart to a crisp. And then she's as cold as ice and talks about it and tells other people about the shameful things that Johnny did when he was under, in the using drugs or alcohol. So that's Johnny's lesson, this reality and fantasy, and reiterating that he's the victim and that she is not. It's also interesting because she's his second wife that she is featured in his chart in a masculine way, actually. And she's got Jupiter in Aries. The ruler is that he would have this big selfish opponent, and because she's cunning and behind the scenes, she set stages. She had her camera rolling. He was living with a sniper who was compiling all this evidence against him on a daily basis. That's sick and twisted. So please, guys, if you're involved in relationships like these, I care. This is some of the best way that an astrologer can help any person or couple. And it doesn't matter whether the partnership is business, corporate, or personal. I will help you. I need birth time, birthplace, birth city in order to do the work that I do for the couple. Of course, everything is confidential, and we'll meet on Zoom and talk this out. Again, you can get a regular couples reading where I'll analyze the way each other treats each other, and then if it's really dark, scorpionic, and dangerous, get the Black Moon Lilith reading. Those couples readings will blow your mind. Okay, the last thing I'm going to say is, Johnny Depp, if you're watching, let me be your astrologer. I won't let anybody hurt you. I promise you. I can easily help you overcome that hot pressure point that is the explosion of your life, where she is trying to destroy your reputation. She's exactly there, guys, in his chart. And it's not an accident that astrology is this literal. Okay, now, speaking of couples readings, the lovers are about to get together. Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Aries, and that's coming to meet some very, very passionate love. And I hope that you get to have the time in your life to indulge in love affairs, matters of the heart, and realize that there's nothing more satisfying on the planet Earth than to be in love and to have someone who gets you and understands you, not Amber Heard types that are videotaping you and leading you deeper into your debauchery or drug use or addictions. And I'm all about love, guys. So from me to you, thank you so much for sharing and caring, subscribing and liking my channel. Your comments make me happy. You're the best. And yeah, I'll help you see things you can't even imagine about your personal relationships. And I'm really happy to do that. Bye for now.